A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Friday, September 22nd. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. 2 adult women were killed when a charter bus they were in with 44 high school students careened down a 50-foot ravine on Interstate 84 westbound in the town of Wawayanda early Thursday afternoon. Preliminary investigation indicated a faulty front tire was the cause of the deadly crash. What started out as a trip to a band camp in Pennsylvania for a group of Farmingdale High School students ended in the deaths of 43-year-old Gina Pelletier and 77-year-old Beatrice Ferrari. 40 students were on the bus, with 5 of them rushed to area hospitals in critical condition, State Police Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone said. Governor Kathy Hochul, who attended a news conference at State Police Troop F headquarters in the town of Wallkill in the early evening, said the day was one of terror for those on the bus.
Certainly there are families grieving today. They say grief is the price you pay for love. We have families, we have a school district, a county, and indeed an entire state that is grieving at this time.
Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman said the bandmates had planned a weekend of fun that turned into a nightmare. Interstate 84 in both directions from Port Jervis to Middletown remained closed for hours as the investigation continued. There was no discussion by the New York State Bridge Authority on Thursday concerning the possibility of installing climb-deterrent fencing as a means of preventing suicides by jumping. 5 members of the public did, however, speak about the issue. Among them was Madeline Gould, a professor of psychiatry at Columbia University Medical Center, who said those fences are the best form of suicide prevention on bridges.
The research has definitively shown that the most effective way to prevent suicides on bridges is by installing physical barriers. Signs, phones, and third-party interventions are not nearly as effective. They're somewhat effective, but mainly as complementary interventions when physical barriers have been installed.
Psychiatrist Dr. Paul Nestat said suicides have reached the highest rate since World War II, and he too supports physical deterrence to prevent impulsive jumping. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
Senator Elizabeth Dole received the West Point Association of Graduates Sylvanus Thayer Award yesterday. The award is given to a citizen who embodies the Academy's motto of duty, honor, country, and outstanding service. According to the Academy Superintendent, Lieutenant General Stephen Galland, when it comes to selfless service, Senator Dole, whose late husband was Senator Bob Dole, was in a class of her own.
As a proud American who cherishes our freedoms, I am ever grateful for the generations of Americans who have joined Bob in wearing the Army uniform. And I am in awe of the officers who've emerged from this prestigious academy for more than 2 centuries to lead those soldiers with wisdom, character, and remarkable courage.
Although her tenure as the first female Secretary of Transportation, Secretary of Labor, President of the American Red Cross, and as a U.S. Senator were all notable, she says her work with her foundation, the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, truly exemplifies her service. Other recipients of the Thayer Award included her husband, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Douglas MacArthur, Bob Dole, Neil Armstrong, Walter Cronkite, Colin Powell, Madeleine Albright, Henry Kissinger, and former Presidents George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush. A 19-year-old Newburgh man who was convicted by an Orange County court jury of criminal possession of a weapon and tampering with physical evidence was sentenced yesterday to 10 1/3 to 13 years in state prison. Robert Jemerson was also sentenced to 5 years of post-release supervision. It was alleged that on September 8, 2022, Newburgh City and State Police conducted a vehicle and traffic stop in the vicinity of Downing Park. Jamerson, who was a passenger in the vehicle, jumped out, tossed a .38 caliber revolver into the pond at the park, and then jumped in. Officers rescued him before he drowned. Later on, the pond was drained and the gun was recovered. Jamerson previously faced trial for the charges in May, but that resulted in a deadlocked jury. There was more violence in the city of Newburgh yesterday as a man was stabbed at 76 Liberty Street, police say. Emergency services personnel responded to the scene of the incident after 6 p.m. and administered first aid before he was taken to the hospital. Police are investigating the incident. It's been a year since Sullivan County legislators discussed how to spend just under $1.4 million in opioid settlement money, and yesterday they approved the plan. They were taken to task last week by members of the County Drug Task Force for only allocating $400,000 to date. Stay updated with local news all day online at MidHudsonNews.com. I'm Hank Gross. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.